Ayvalık is a seaside town on the northwestern Aegean coast of Turkey. It is a district of Balıkesir Province. The town centre of Ayvalık is surrounded by the archipelago of Ayvalık Islands, which face the nearby Greek island of Lesbos. It was alternatively called Kydonies by the town's former Greek population, although the use of the name Ayvalık was widespread for centuries among both the Turks and the Greeks, pronounced as Ayvali by the latter. Geography. Ayvalık is a district in Turkey's Balıkesir province on the Aegean Sea coast. It is situated on a narrow coastal plain surrounded by low hills to the east which are covered with pine and olive trees. Ayvalık is also surrounded by the archipelago of the Ayvalık Islands on the sea and by a narrow peninsula in the south named the Hakkari Peninsula. Ayvalık is the southernmost district of Balıkesir. Gomik, Bahiriye and Edremit are other districts of the Balıkesir province which are situated on the Aegean shores, and they are lined up respectively to the north. The region is under the influence of a typical Mediterranean climate with mild and rainy winters and hot, dry summers. In antiquity, Ayvalık was located in the ancient region named Elis. In antiquity, the ruins of three important ancient cities are within a short driving distance away from Ayvalık: Assos and Troya to the north, while Pergamon is to the east. Mount Ida, which plays an important role in ancient Greek mythology and folk tales, Ganymede, Paris, Aeneas, who is the protagonist of the ancient Roman epic Pergamon of Virgil, is also near Ayvalık and can be seen from numerous areas in and around the town centre. History. Various archaeological studies in the region prove that Ayvalık and its environs were inhabited as early as the prehistoric ages. Joseph Thacker Clarke believed that he had identified it as the site of Kydonies, mentioned by Strabo as a place in ruins at a harbour beyond Cape Pyrrha. Kydonies was further identified by Engin Beksak of Trakya University as Kysiftlike, near the centre of Gomik. The Ayvalık region was studied by Beksak in his survey of the prehistoric and proto-historic settlements on the southern side of the Gulf of Adramyttian. The survey showed different settlements near the center of Ayvalık which appear generally to relate to the early classical periods. However, some settlements near the center of Altınova were related to the prehistoric period, especially the Bronze and Iron Ages. Kydonies, identified by Beksak in his survey project in the 1990s and early 2000s, aids understanding of the interaction between the peoples of the interior and of the coast. Kydonies is one of the most important settlements, along with another settlement, Yeni Yıldırım, near the center of Altınova. Traces of a hill fort were identified by Beksak on Siplak Island at Turkey. Some late Bronze Age and early Iron Age pottery fragments related to the Aeolians were found on the same island. Two tiny settlements near the center of Ayvalık were settlements in the Pera of Mytilene. Portoselene, near the center of Ayvalık, was also an important settlement in antiquity. The remnants were on the eastern part of Kundra Island, near the sea. All the archaeological data was related to the classical and medieval ages. The constant threat posed by piracy in the region during the previous ages did not allow the islet settlements to grow larger, and only Kundra Island could maintain a higher level of habitation as it is the largest and the closest islet to the mainland. After the Byzantine period, the region came under the rule of the Anatolian Beylik of Karasi in the 13th century and was later annexed to the territory of the Ottoman Beylik, which was to become the Ottoman Empire in the following centuries. The locals contributed with their economies to the Greek struggle for independence, including the famous Sora Kostana. As of 1920, the population was estimated at 60,000. It had a small port exporting soap, olive oil, animal hides and flour. The British described Ayvali and nearby Edremit as having the finest olive oil in Asia Minor. They reported large exportations of olive oil to France and Italy. However, the oil industry in Ayvalık suffered during the First World War due to the deportation of Christian populations in the area, who were the primary makers of olive oil. Alarmed at the decline of the industry, the Turkish government brought back 4,500 Greek families to the area in order to resume olive oil production. Despite receiving wages, olive oil-producing Greeks were kept under government surveillance. Until 1922, Ayvalık was almost entirely populated by Greeks. Anecdotal evidence indicates that, immediately after the defeat in the naval battle of Chesma, the Ottoman admiral Cesar Yerli Gazi Hasan Pasha and his men from the ships who survived the disaster were lodged on the way back to the capital by a local priest in Ayvalık, who did not know who they were. Hasan Pasha did not forget the kindness shown to his sailors in the hour of need, and when he became head vizier, he accorded virtual autonomy to the Greeks of Ayvalık, paving the way for it to become an important cultural center for that community in the Ottoman Empire during the 19th and early 20th centuries. The town was controlled by the Greek army on the 29th of May 1919 and consequently taken again 3 years later by Turkish forces under the command of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk on the 15th of September 1922. A part of the population managed to depart to Greece. However, a significant part of the local males were seized by the Turkish army and died during death marches in the interior of Anatolia. Among the victims was the Christian clergy and the local metropolitan bishop, Gregory Orologas. Following the Turkish War of Independence, the Greek population and the properties in the town were exchanged by a Muslim population from Greece and other formerly held Ottoman Turkish lands under the 1923 Agreement for the Exchange of Populations between Greece and Turkey. Most of the new population that replaced the former Greek community were Muslim Turks from Mytilene, Crete and Macedonia. One could still hear Greek spoken in the streets until recently. Many of the town's mosques are Greek Orthodox churches that have been converted into Muslim mosques. Modern Ayvalık. Today, the population of Ayvalık is close to 30,000, which significantly increases during the summer due to tourism. Ayvalık and its environs are famous for the highly appreciated quality of olive oil production, which provides an important source of income for the local population. Ayvalık and the numerous islets encircling the Bay Area are popular holiday resorts. The largest and most important of these islets is Kundra Island, which is connected to Lale Island, and thence to the mainland, by a bridge and causeway built in the late 1960s. This is the oldest bridge in Turkey that connects lands separated by a strait. Both Ayvalık and Kundra Island are famous for the seafood restaurants which are located immediately at the seashore. Ayvalık also has two of the longest sandy beaches of Turkey which extend as far as the Dikili district of Izmir, nearly 30 kilometers to the south. These are the Sarımsaklı and Altınova beaches. In recent years, Ayvalık has also become an important point of attraction for scuba divers with its underwater fauna. Ayvalık is in close proximity to Bugma, which is another important attraction for tourists with its ruins dating back to antiquity, the Gulf of Edremit, Mount Ida and the ancient cities of Assos and Troy to the north, and the coastal resort towns of Dikili and Foça to the south are also within driving distance for daily excursions. Ferries operate daily between Ayvalık and Mytilene in nearby Lesbos Island, Greece. Ayvalık International Music Academy was established in September 1998. Students receive master-instructed classes for violin, viola and cello. The Academy brings together students from all over the world and gives them a precious opportunity to work with distinguished masters of their branch. USA-based Harvard University and Turkey's Koç University have established a joint project in Kydonies of Ayvalık and run a Harvard Koç University intensive Ottoman and AMP Turkish summer school every summer. With its rich architectural heritage, Ayvalık is a member of the Norwich-based European Association of Historic Towns and Regions. Notable people: Fotis Kontoglu, writer, painter and iconographer; Elias Venezis, author; Gregory of Kydonies, Metropolitan of Kydonies, ethnomartyr, arranged the majority of Greek population to live for Greece via the International Red Cross, but was himself executed by Turkish authorities. Stratos Pagioimsis, Greek rebetiko singer; Konstantinos Dombres, operator of the first printing press in the town and the first press in Greece; Georgios Dombres, Greek soldier of the Macedonian struggle and First Balkan War.